I want us to get to know some of the people in the room. So because we are people number now, show people how to trickle in. I would love it if you could just stand up and say who you are, where you're from, and what makes you come today. And if you don't mind, I'm going to start with you. If you could.
Hi, everybody. I'm Trina from the Bahamas originally, and
It's the what? Oh, okay. Awesome. Make sure you project. We're live streaming, guys. So there are people who are not here who are watching this right now. So I'm excited about that. This is my first time doing a live stream. But I wanted to have an opportunity to reach people who may not have had a chance to come, people who are not in Atlanta. I have networks in Chicago, Minneapolis, St. Louis, and all of them are like, Tasha, we want to be there, we want to hear you. So technology allows you to be able to do that. So if you could introduce yourself, tell us your name, where you're from, and what made you come here today, besides the invitation.
okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Klein. I'm from Houston, Texas. I decided to come here outside of the invitation because I have some endeavors that I'm getting ready to start working towards. So that's my goal.
Awesome. So give some tips and pointers for some endeavors that you want to get started. Got you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Yvonne with a Y. I've been in Atlanta for 4 years, coming from Colorado, here to Chicago for about 20 years. I'm here. I have great products and great ideas. This year for me is all about hanging on positive people, staying motivated, staying focused on my goals, and hopefully that I can learn some things today.
Oh, not hopefully.
I will learn some amazing things today. Thank
I
you.
guarantee it.
Okay.
If you don't, then come talk to me.
I'll check back with you later. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sharon. I live in Kennesaw, and I'm here because I do have my own small business, and I'm trying to grow that myself personally. And I saw your advertising idea, and I thought this would be a perfect opportunity for me to learn more things to help myself grow in business.
Awesome. So you're looking to grow your business. You already have a business.
Well, I know Diana. We network together. I sell non-lethal self-defense products. And so I am looking to, not only grow my business, but myself personally. As a business woman. So I saw their advertisement on eBay, and I thought that it would be a perfect opportunity for me to learn more things to help myself grow as a business.
Awesome. Diana?
Yes. My name is Diana Perez, and I'm originally from South Florida, living in Atlanta now 8 years. And I came not only by invitation, but because I saw that there was going to be a bullet point on health and wellness for busy women, so I'm very interested in that, and also interested in growing my mindset to be more financially savvy with the money and honey I'm already making. So,
Awesome. Corey, introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Corey Watson. Considering the fact that this is a women's empowerment, I will bring you authentic tips where I'm a personal trainer in area.
Awesome. Come join us. Why are you standing off to the side?
I don't want to take all the running like
Oh, you won't. Trust me.
Hi everyone. Tim Button, former MBA trainer for the Atlanta Hawks, keynote speaker for an event coming up called Social Networking at the Marion Hotel. I'm also one of the business speakers at the Business Success Training. So you guys are business entrepreneurs. I'm going to teach you how to make money. So I will be at the March 28th. I'm a special guest speaker on March 28th. So I hope I see you there. But they want to take away from me. Thanks, guys.
No, feel free to join us. Have a seat. You don't have to. Don't ostracize yourself. It's all about inclusivity and I appreciate you guys for being here so much. I know that it's early, and let me tell you, I'm operating off of maybe 1 hour of sleep right now. So much going on. I do a midnight call every day. It's called Midnight Motivation Mastermind. And I do that call to motivate entrepreneurs who are staying up late to help them get some focus and clarity around what they want to accomplish in their businesses in those last few hours of wakefulness so that it can be as productive as possible. And not only that, but after the event today, I'm going to operate in a support role at another event called the Dare to Dream Tour. So yesterday, even while I'm planning for my own event, I went to volunteer to help another sister as she prepared for her event too. And so I get back home and I'm just like, okay. So now I have to plan and prepare for my own event. And I wanted to make sure that I was very clear about what I wanted to share with you guys today. So I didn't, time was not an issue. I wanted to make sure that I had the right message to share with you guys. And I really set the intention even before we showed up today, even before I knew who was going to be in this space today. I definitely had an idea for what it is I wanted to share with you and what it is I want to be able to impart into you today. So I always like to get an idea of, I know what I want to share, but I want to get an idea of what did you come for? Because there can sometimes be a disconnect when, I put up the copy and I say, this is what you're going to get. But then what you receive from that can be very different. So my background is in finances, and I hear, some people came to learn about their financial lifestyle. Some people came to learn about building up their businesses. Some people came to learn about how to grow. And so now my job is to figure out how can I take those things and make sure that I'm presenting a cohesive presentation that's going to allow you to get exactly what you came for. And what I'm even more excited about is that some of you are interested in the health and wellness aspect. And I think, within our community, a lot of times that's something that's overlooked. As women entrepreneurs, we take on this attitude of, I can do it all, I have to do it all. And a lot of times we take on that weight and that burden, and it doesn't allow us to be as effective as we could. So today, that's what I want us to do. I want us to reduce that stress, that burden, all of those things that are not allowing us to be our true selves, that are not allowing us to show up in our businesses in the way that we want to and in the way that we know that we can. So that is my goal for you today. So today's presentation is to unleash your power and potential. And I have tweaked that a little bit I want you to tap into your potential. I want you to understand what your potential is today. Tap into it first. And then, once you identify what is already inside of you, once you tap into your identity, then it will be able to be unleashed. So we talked about this idea of self-development. So I came and I'm like, yes, we're going to talk about business. But I love that you said, no, slow down. I want to focus on my self-development. Because a lot of times as business owners, we're trying to figure out what we can do to go to the next level. We're always thinking about what's that next step? What's that next thing that I can do to be successful? And a lot of times it's driven by a need in us. We have something that we need to do, something that we need to accomplish. We have an income goal that we set for ourselves. And so because of that, we have this feeling of what's next? What's that next thing that I can do? But what I want to suggest to you today is that I want you to focus on where you are now. And I want you to develop a mastery about it. I want you to become an expert in it. And then in that space of expertise, you'll be able to naturally evolve to the next level. The next level is not something that you strive for. It's not something that you toil for. What you toil for is to be great now. To be awesome now. And I don't know what your businesses are yet. But what I do know is that we have a lot of people operating in the space of entrepreneurship who don't know how to be entrepreneurs. They're not great at what they do, but they know how to talk a good game. And I don't know about you, but it bothers me. It bothers me that we have so many people who call themselves entrepreneurs and they present themselves as if they have an offer, a product that can change your life, but they haven't even done the work to change themselves. So what I want you guys to do today is I want you to do the real heavy lifting, which is in looking inward. Looking inward. What is that potential that is laying dormant, unused, untapped inside of you? Why is it there? You know, sometimes we talk about potential, people having potential, like it's a good thing. Like, we have so much potential. But I want you to leave here today, purpose in your mind to use every ounce of potential that you have. I don't want you to have potential forever. I want you to use that potential. And that's where your power comes from. That is how you're going to be powerful. That's where your power is going to manifest. Who understands what I'm saying? Please let me know if I'm making sense. Does this make sense? I hope so. I hope so, because I talk to coaches, and you can tell, you know, when somebody is really talking to you, or, you know, and what I want for you guys, no matter what business you're in, whether you're selling non-lethal self-defense products or lethal self-defense products, whatever it is, I want you to own where you are in the business right now. Sometimes you get so focused on going from point A to point B, and from point B to point C. But we never stop to build a foundation that will propel us forward. If you're not building a hobby, then your business is something that needs to be sustainable. This is something that you're going to be doing for the long term. You don't build it with any old kind of foundation. And you don't try to get from point A to point B without mastering point A. I want the women. I want you guys killing it in every aspect. Because you can, because you should. Because I believe that it's your birthright. I actually believe that as women it's your birthright. I mean, you have the power of creation inside. No one else can do that. And that is such a transformational idea that we are uniquely blessed with the power of creation. Right? We can actually physically birth things into the world. Physically. For real. In real life. Not for fake. Not for flesh. At one point there was no flesh, and now there is flesh. At one point there was no life, and now there is life. And we struggle with bringing our businesses into fruition, and for why, I don't understand it. If anyone should have the power of creation, it should be you. It should be you. And this is why it's so important. You were destined to create. The world needs exactly what you have. And if you look at society, it is a clear indication to me that we need more women to operate in their place of feminine ways of power. We need that. Why? Just look at the world, right? I operate in a space with a lot of male entrepreneurs. Why? Because in our society, a lot of times the males are successful in starting their business and growing their businesses, and they have a very no-nonsense. So when I go to my male mentors and I say, but, you know, I can't even get the sentences out, and they're like, I don't care. I don't care. Whatever you were about to say, let me tell you right now, I don't care. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care if you're retired. I don't care. Well, this is different, but the focus is always on results. The focus is always on results. And I don't want you to be that way. I'm not saying I don't want you to adopt a male mentality. I want you to understand it. Because once I understood, I can say, I get that. But now I can operate in my own place of power with that concept and dominate. You can never, you know, we don't want to use the masculine energy, but I do take a lot of my practices from my male colleagues and mentors who are successful in what they do. That only makes sense. You look at what works, and then you make it fit for you. I used to tell myself, I hate sales. If you're in business and you hate sales, go out of business because you're not going to make it. You're just not. And I used to say, I'm just not a salesperson. I cannot 4 months ago, I joined an international mastermind with 50 people. 50 people from all over the world. The only woman and only 1 or 2 white. Entire group. Right? It's international, all over the world. Europe, China, Asia, all these different places. And I'm the only woman. So, one day I was like, excuse me, I just have a question. Why am I the only woman here? I mean, it's pretty stark. Every day we have these conversations. Him. And let me tell you, they don't intend to create a hostile environment. Woo! But it's hostile. I mean, just being in a male-dominated environment, that's the things that they say. And if you're the only woman, they're not going to make allowances for you. I was like, wow, this is how it works. But it allowed me to move into a different place. It allowed me to get a different perspective on what was happening. So when I asked them, why am I the only woman? First of all, the response was, stop whining. Why are you complaining? Like, oh my God, all I did was ask a question. I want to know and I need answers. Because women could benefit from this too. And there's no reason why more women aren't here. I grew my business, 100% in 4 months from participating in that space. And I went from being the new person to one of the top sales generators. Because I was able to say, wow, this is what they're doing. And then adopt it to my place of power. And who has the art of persuasion like you? I should have been a top salesperson. There should not be a man in that space that could outsell me. And so I was like, okay, that's what you do. And then I just took it and I used it to my own benefit. When I asked them why more women work there, they said, because women don't want to be in this space. Which I understand why. They're mean, they're they were also kind in their way. But I wasn't complaining because my business grew. But what they said was, young women like you don't want to be here. They don't want to be here. And I'm thinking, is that true? There's a statistic about women entrepreneurs. Women entrepreneurs make up less than 20% of new entrepreneurs. Why is that? Men don't have the power of creation. I love them. I love them. But why? Why are 80% of these businesses started by men? Why? If you can say it's because you don't want to start business, well then I'm done. But I don't think that's what it is, because every time I come into a space of women entrepreneurs, what I hear is, I need. I hear you coming and saying, I want more. I want business growth. I want to be able to start a business, but I don't know how. And what I see happening is, you don't know what your space looks like. You don't know what your space looks like. Because when you go into the realm of entrepreneurship, which is heavily dominated by men, it can feel different. And I'm not telling you what I think, I'm telling you what I know. I walk into the world, first of all, I'm like 15, okay? And I look like I'm like 15. So when I go in there, they're like, who is this girl? And they immediately, it never fails. It never fails. There's an immediate power dynamic created all the time. And the purpose of that is to say, I want you to know who's in charge. It's so annoying. But there's this need that I don't understand. I don't get it. Because I walk in like, hello. I have no desire to come and present myself as serious, toxic, power businesswoman. I have no need to do that. I walk in and I'm as bubbly as can be. That's just who I am. I'm just a happy, effervescent, smiley person. I'm just gonna smile at you. I want you to be happy. I want to make you happy. When I come into your space, I want you to look at me and be happier than me. Men and women. I feel like that's part of my power. I want to be able to shift. When I walk into a space, I just want the atmosphere to change. I want everybody who is sad to be able to tap into my happiness and my energy, my nurturing spirit. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm in this space. When I walk into the business meeting, I'm telling you, men have a different intention. They have a different mood set. And it is, I want you to know this is how it is. This is my experience. This has been my experience time and time again. And if you don't know how to walk into those situations and own it within your place of power, within your place of femininity, within your place of grace, but dominate, then you're not going to understand how to be successful in those spaces. You're not going to be able to grow your business the way that you want to grow your business if you are not willing to come outside of your comfort zone. Right? Sometimes I have to put on my serious face. Because sometimes that's what people need. They need that. And I just look, bring it back. Put on your serious face, bring your voice down to the beginning. Because we have, there are certain images within our society that just don't demand respect. That's just how it is. And if you come across and you present that, then it's going to be hard for you to demand respect in the space that you want. Now, I want to be clear. When I walk into a room with a woman and I happy and I smile, she is forcing me to understand that this has nothing to do with my business and my ability to handle the job. She understands that most of the time. She's not going to think this person's inexperienced, this person, doesn't know what she's doing. That has been my experience. But sometimes when you enter maybe corporate settings, where they're all older, mostly men, my background is in corporate. You have to know that there's a different energy in the room. And before you can bring in an energy, sometimes you have to adopt the energy that's already there. So a lot of times what I do is I can't help it. I'm going to come in just bubbly, but I immediately feel the energy. And then I bring it down, I bring my voice down. I present a little bit more of a serious face. And then I just establish myself in the space so that I can demand what I deserve and then give of who I am. So once I can set the tone, well, I should say that differently. Once I can adopt to the tone that is already there, then I can begin to create shift. And this is not something that anyone is going to teach you as a woman, one of business owners. But it is absolutely something that you have to know in order to be successful in your business. So the other thing that I really want to, there are a lot of things that I want to get across, But one of the most important topics that I want to make sure that I don't just gloss over, but that I really hone in on is how important it is for you to become comfortable selling your service or your product. How many of you already have a service or product that you are selling? And then how many of you are in a place where you're starting something? You want to start a business. Okay. So whether you're selling, whether you're in the startup phase, the idea phase, or whether you are already selling, you have to know how to sell your product or how to sell your idea. So in the beginning stages, when you're selling your idea, the reason this is so important is because you need to get buy-in from your potential customer base before you ever develop business. You need to know, is this what my audience wants? So before you even have a product to sell, before you even actually have something to sell, you've already got to get saleswoman. Because you need to get people bought into your idea. You need them to get bought into your potential product or service. Because as they get bought in, this is going to be your community for feedback. And a lot of businesses don't get off the ground because they never get focused on where they are. Remember I said, don't focus on where you want to go. Focus on where you are. Where you're going is going to be a natural evolution from dominating in the space that you are in. Just dominate, become an expert in where you are right now. And as you do that, you will naturally evolve to the next level. Butterflies don't say, oh, I can't wait to be a butterfly. I really need to be a butterfly. Oh my goodness, when is this cocoon gonna happen? I need to shift. Butterflies are not flying around talking about when is my shift coming? When is my next level coming? They don't. And you don't need to do it either. Caterpillar just has to be a caterpillar. And it does a really good job of being a caterpillar. And when the time comes, there's a natural evolution. There's something in us that thinks we have to work ourselves to the bone to get to the next level. But what I really need you to do is stop, focus in, look inward, and develop. Develop that. That is that which is in you. You need to be developing your business idea. So as you're thinking about that, as you're thinking about what do I need to focus on right now, if you are in the idea generation phase, you need to be making sure, is this a good idea? Is this idea going to make me money? And as you continue to get buy-in from your customer base, they're going to say, where is your product? And that'll be your sign, natural evolution. It's time for me to make my product. They're like, you've been telling us about this, because you're going to put some stuff out there and they're not going to like it. They're going to say, no, that's not really what I need right now. Because you have an idea, guarantee it. You are women with vision. You have an idea of what you want to produce. But you have to make sure that there is an alignment with the need that is in your community. You have something that is in you that has to connect with the need that is in the world. If those two things don't align, if you can't connect the need in you or the desire to produce in you with the need that is in the world, then there's going to be a misalignment and your business is going to be stuck. You're going to feel like, why? How come I'm not going anywhere? Why is it that I'm not going to the next level? It's because you have to dominate with where you are. You can't move to the next level when you're in a place of misalignment. The way that you do that is you talk to your potential customer base and you make sure that you know what they want before you start trying to sell them a product. You just give them something. Tell them, this is the business that I'm about to start. These are the products that I'm offering. Is this what you need? This system is fail-proof. If you already, what is business if not supply and demand? You can't just supply. A lot of business owners want to supply. They're like, I get that, I'm guilty. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. I started off, I'm like, oh, I have a passion. I'm so passionate. I have this thing that I really want to do. But people weren't ready for it. They didn't want that. They didn't want to spend money on that. But that's not even where my head was. I wasn't thinking, what do you want? I was thinking, what do I want to give? And that's operating as a business owner from a place of selfishness. And this is why I think that women business owners are uniquely positioned to be successful, because you know how to listen to the needs of your community. You do it all the time. You do it all the time, listening and understanding to the needs of the people around you. What is it that you need that I can provide you? And then once you hear those needs, normally there's something in you that's like, how can I provide that? Man, I wish that I could help you with that. So now all you need to do is align those things. Ask your audience, what is it that you need me to give you? And once they tell you, start to develop it. In the book of Lean Startup, they call it the minimum viable product. or your minimum viable service, right? So maybe if you wanted to open up your own clothing store, maybe you start off with a couple of accessories. And you get to ask your audience, what type of accessories do you like and why? You're going to get so much information. And for people say that content is king, information is king, and insight is queen. If you have information and insight, you will rule in your area of expertise. I guarantee you, unless you just don't know, unless you can't align it. If you don't know how to align it, that's okay. You just need a mentor to help you align those. So, for this first portion, we're gonna break it up today. I don't want to over talk you. I don't want to talk on and on. So, what I want you to get from this first portion, if you don't get anything else, from the beginning of today, I want you to understand that your power is going to come from looking inward, tapping into your grace and your power, and not being frantic and anxious for that next step. Let go of it. A lot of times coming out of this place of lack, a place of insecurity, let it go. Let it go. Don't operate from that. Be anxious for nothing. Be anxious for nothing. Because it will not lead to productivity and it will not lead to prosperity. I will tell you that right now. What I want you to do, I want you to focus on where you are now and dominate in that space. Develop yourself, develop your business, and from that, a natural evolution will come. Like the butterfly, like the caterpillar, you won't have to try to evolve. It will be a natural evolution of who you are. And nobody's going to tell you that. You are already enough. You already have what you need. You just need to focus inward instead of focusing on what you think is the next step and what you think is the next big thing. And with that, we're going to take a 5-minute break. If you guys could just get to know one another, get to know the people in the room, and then in five minutes, we'll be back with our panel where we're going to talk about health and wellness for the busy business woman. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Can you tell us more about that? I'm listening. I would love to hear a little more about that.
One thing right there that makes you money. If you remember your podcast, that's one of the hardest things. You have to remember
I'm listening. I'm about to ask a business
I was
card.
thinking about that the other day. I'm like,
Nice to meet you again, Diana.
Right.
yes, you did.
It sounds like a great business. What are some of the stumbling blocks?
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about. Yeah. Sorry. That is part. That is part.
So this is what.
And new business to teach you really the art. Because you know, starting your business, you have exactly right. You have to have that. But most people
Like if someone grabs you, I know a couple things. But it's good to kind of keep staying with pressure. There's been a lot of burglaries in my neighborhood, so it would be good to, I definitely want the pepper spray and all that.
I do have pepper spray, but it's I just have it in my car just in case. Never-
See, and that's why I also make sure that, okay, I have some here from the block. So, you know, so if you get the deal for it, so you
Would actually have to come.
it's just you know, well, I mean, it would help you, don't get me wrong, but
What if you're so scared you spray it on yourself?
Right, I have
I'm always
it backwards,
scared. I
like
know,
it,
I'm always
yeah.
scared to do that. I'm
It's like when they try to use a fire extinguisher, you know, it's going to be watching class and you're on your own, like, where do I pull the pin or where do I do? So it's good to practice.
they just don't want to spend it.
Yeah.
So that's why, yeah.
Info and defense.
so when you start.
Well, what I'm
Yeah.
is setting up my bed like one of my products is it's actually so you know you wouldn't use it for something that's close to not. But shut up to see how
All right, guys, one more minute and we're going to get started with the panel.
this time around, I have put myself out. I have networked.
Sorry.
You know, so
What I
one on one.
Well, what you do is you use
You know, so this is what I'm trying to, you know, because I want this line to be sustainable to go all the time.
And if you're focused on
You know, and they're
do you have women?
and they're families, you know, and I'm trying to find a niche, which is why I got the opportunity.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. She didn't have to make it very clear. All right, guys, we're going to get started. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so for those of you who do not know, March is Women's History Month, and it is also National Nutrition Month. And so because of that, I wanted to make sure that there is a portion of today's event that was dedicated specifically for that purpose. So I brought on two of my newest and best friends, Tori Wiley and Hill, and they're going to talk to us today about what it is that they do and about different things that we can begin to do in our lives to make sure that we are continuously pouring into ourselves so that we can be positioned to pour into others. So, we talked already about how important it is for you to tap into the potential that is inside of you. But it doesn't matter if you have potential inside of you, if you're sick, if you're broke down, if you're tired. No one is going to be able to benefit from the gifts and the talents that you have. And so I wanted to make sure that I took some time to address that. And that is what they're going to do for us today. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So Tori, we'll start with you. So tell us a little bit about what it is that you do, what it is that promoted you or inspired you to go into your field.
Okay, I'm Tori Wiley. One of the first year of thanks to the Tasha for putting on this event, and thanks to all of you who came out. I'm a personal trainer, but a lot of times you see the word holistic in everything that I do because in order to be fit, you have to understand that it's a mentally, you have to be fit mentally, physically, and spiritually. Other than that, you'll find a way to get back to where, you came from in the first place. So, I have a personal training studio in Marietta where I train, but I also have other trainers all throughout the metro Atlanta area who is under the same umbrella and the same battle. And that is a brief description.
What made you go into being a trainer?
Well, it was really inspired by more so on the business side of it, knowing the fact that I wanted to be self-sufficient. And I had brothers who were already in the training realm who had personal training certification, but they worked for other companies. And I wanted to put a family business together and say, hey, we can do this, four of us, I got 5 brothers, but 4 of us, we go into the same thing, we can accomplish a lot more. And that's what inspired it. And so I went to the drawing board and worked at the gym for about 2.5 years. And, everything I learned, put it on paper and put it into my way.
So one of the things that I hear from them that I really pick up on is, taking 2.5 years to just learn. Before even going into business on his own, 2.5 years just to build a foundation. Yeah. So to me, and I watch this business grow, and it's really exciting to me to be able to witness that. But it's just a testimony to me regarding how important it is to make sure that you are laying that right foundation. Because had it been me, 6 months in, I'm like, okay, when is my time? What's that next thing for me? But sometimes you really got to put in the roots and just commit to learning. So now, can you please introduce yourself? Tell us what it is that you do and what inspired you to go there.
Hello, I'm Ben Hills, and from Hills Vegan Bakery or Hills Wrap. We specialize in cakes and desserts, but we also do all kinds of vegan cakes and vegan foods as well. Raw desserts. I recently moved to the U.S. from Israel, where there I went to culinary school and I actually had my biggest challenge over there was to take everything that they taught me in culinary school and convert it by myself to vegan. Because they don't teach you vegan in culinary school. But in order to to dominate the whole market, then I think that you should know both, and you should know the benefits of both, the pros and cons of both, vegan and non-vegan, and to understand why there's difference, why should you even consider, I wouldn't say so much vegan, but I would say healthy,
Eating habits?
Healthy eating habits. I'm an American, but this is a little bit. However, what I've come here to do is teach those that prefer healthy eating habits, to actually teach them how to transform the process from going to chicken nuggets to vegan chicken nuggets. Because when you do have vegan chicken nuggets, the taste is amazing. I actually had a chance, had the opportunity to cook for Latasha, and she has never eaten vegan before then. And I think me and Terry together wants her to do like 2 or 3 meatless days out of the week. So that was a huge accomplishment, because while being businessmen or women, you actually want to make healthy decisions for the business. And only a healthy mind can do it. Right? So I'm not promoting so much vegan, but I have to promote healthy eating. Okay? So a lot of people, the percentages on diabetes in the country alone is enormous. And just understanding what you put in your mouth, because we are raised by our parents and we're told to eat this. But at some point we have to take control of our own lives and understand everything that we eat, everything that we do affect our overall being. Our business decisions, how long our lifespan, longevity, everything that you eat, like you said, body, mind, and soul. So you have to be healthy mentally, physically, and spiritually.
And I like one of the things that stood out to me in that statement was that you want to be able to make the best decisions, not just for your business, but in your life. And he said only a healthy mind. And I think sometimes there can be a disconnect between how we think about what goes into our body and how it actually impacts what we're doing on a day-to-day basis. So I think it's important to understand that those two things are extremely connected. And I want you guys to know, so they talked about who they are on the business level, but the reason that I have them here today is actually not because I think that they're great at what they do, which they are, but that's never my primary, it's actually never my primary reason for working with somebody. I can find people who are good at what they do if I look hard enough, but I can't find people who have character as great as these guys. Like, when I'm thinking about who I want to do business with, who I want to present to my audience, I want it to be people who I know have a stand-up character, who I know have your best interests at heart. And I met them back in, was it February? January. And had an opportunity to work with them. So, like King said, he cooked me a vegan meal after knowing me for like a week. But I wanted to be able to recommend him to you guys. And I can only do that if I know your product. So he actually cooked a vegan meal for me. And when I tell you it was delicious, and I don't play about my food. I'm the type, if it doesn't taste good, I don't want it. I know there's this, I want to be healthy, but it also has to taste good. Like, I'm a living human being. I need good food. And so I was really skeptical. And you can see on the picture, there's that vegan fish. That was actually the fish that I ate. And it's not fish, but it was delicious. Like, it was so good. And it was really surprising to me that, something so healthy could also be delicious, because, the way that I grew up, I have this mentality that everything that was healthy was bad. And then, Tori came on, and I train with him every Monday. Right? I train with him every Monday. I drive 40 minutes to go see him. It's not that I can't find a trainer closer to me, but I want to have a trainer who understands how important it is to connect the whole picture, how important it is to connect the whole body. So I want you to know that this is not just a trainer. This is not just a chef. There are people who are really committed to giving back to their communities, to putting roots in the communities, to doing the best that they can in their businesses. That's what's really important to me. And that is why I have them here to do this panel for you. So, Tori, I want to ask you, why is health and nutrition so important to you? And why is it something that you think we need to focus on as a community?
Because I want to say because it's a fundamental of life. If you're not eating well, if you're not moving, then you're not really living. And it is important to know the definition of what life is. Because if you think moving and being able to touch something, feel something is living, then we have to go back in and change the perception on life as a whole. So I want to live, and I know the true definition of living, so I understand that in order to do that, I have to eat right and I have to move.
Awesome. So, can you demonstrate a quick workout for us that you think was that's something that's quick and efficient that we can just do on the go in our daily lives that could potentially help us relieve stress or something like that?
Okay. Yeah. Actually, many of you've seen a push-up before, you've seen a squat before. I don't have to really demonstrate those things like that. But what I want to demonstrate is something that a lot of trainers do not get on. And it's actually making sure that we're targeting the dysfunction that being business women, a lot of times you're on the computer all the time. So your shoulders may be leaning forward and you have problems. You have what you call tightness in the fascia, which is the connective tissue to your muscles. But what I want to demonstrate first is exercise that I want you to get somebody who may be in the health and fitness realm or somebody who knows the human anatomy and the biomechanics of the body and see what dysfunctions you may have. So what I'm going to demonstrate is what you call an overhead squat. And from this exercise, because it's an integrative exercise, we use the upper body and lower body, you can see, okay, well, what is it that I may need to stretch out a little bit more? What is it that I need to loosen up a little bit more? So what it should look like is your hand over your head first. You always want to look at that. So shoulders width apart, feet straight ahead. When you're squatting, first and foremost, is you never, ever want to lean forward. That's the first fundamental part in the squat. You don't want to make sure your weight is all the way on your heels. And when you're coming back, keep a neutral spine like this, and you should be able to get parallel. Now, let's say you try to do this and your feet is moving out like this. That already tells me that it's probably most likely either your knee needs to be able to flex more internally, or you don't have enough flexibility in the hips. And so that in itself is the first, like I said, is the foundation. And once we fix the foundation, the posture, we analyze your posture and things like that, then we can start to work on getting that somewhere that springs right into one of our goals.
And let me tell y'all, Tori just made that look real easy. But the first time that he had me do that, and the second time, and then we didn't do it again. I did fall several times. Like, it was extremely difficult for me to just put my hands over my head and just squat, keeping my heels rounded and my back straight up. It was extremely hard. And that just let me know that there's a lot of dysfunction in my posture. Talk about, from being at a computer, the tension that is in my neck. I mean, as business women, there has to be a flow through our bodies. We have to be able to flow using our bodies, but energy has to be able to flow through our bodies as well. So I think it's really important to make sure that you are doing those exercises, that you're getting those massages. It's a business expense. Do what you need levels high throughout the day? Yeah.
Well,
Something quick, because we don't have, hours and hours.
well, something to start off with. Like I said, you want to get up and be energized throughout the day. Is a natural fruit shake. Fruit shake in the morning is a great breakfast. It's high in energy and something to get you started off with well. I mean, some people don't like bananas or certain fruits, but you can choose just about any fruit and you can mix it with a little protein. We have this one that we use called tahini. Tahini is great and very enriched in protein or whatever, and it keeps you. And if you could add probably, some people don't like it, but you could add a little molasses. Molasses is the dark extract from the sugar, which is actually has all the nutrients that they take out of the sugar. Okay, so if you use molasses, no sugar needed because it's going to be sweet. The fruit is sweet enough. Any fruits you use, banana, you have some peanut butter up in there, not a lot. And then we're just washing it away from all this and peanut butter, could carry a little calories. So just in minute amount, but that's one great start. Now, you said a couple of them. Did I get
Let's give it one more. One more.
Okay.
You
Well, I won't give you another breakfast, but I'll give you something else that you could use to snack on if you actually watching the weight. Now we have these seaweed. Seaweed is these sheets that they're high in iron. Okay, you can get them from any Oriental market, and they're seasoned, and you can use this as a snack. One of my friends snack on this all day, and it looks like she eats so much, but seaweed has no calories. So you could snack on them all day and not gain enough.
That does not sound outside.
Well,
There was
you have the
seaweed
sushi.
that they wasn't there some seaweed in that?
Yes. This here is actually.
And it was really good. It was. But I just had to say it. I had to say it because I know you guys were thinking it. I know you were thinking it. Now, seaweed, I want be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. Be willing to do something. Think about what you see in the world today. We see so much unhealthiness. We have to do something. And I think that if you would be willing to start your day out with a fruit smoothie, a fruit and vegetable smoothie, I think that just by you making that one decision, it's going to have a positive influence on the rest of your day. It's going to allow you to gain positive momentum, not even just from what's in the shake, but from what happened in here that caused you to even make it in the first place. So you're going to start planting the seed of greatness in your day from the very beginning. And then what the nutrients that's in the smoothie is going to help to propel that forward. And just, where can we find seaweed? I just wouldn't even know where to go.
Well, like I said, I've been looking on for it since I got over here. We actually ship it to Israel a lot. However, Asian markets, Oriental markets, you can find seaweed. And you have the seasoned seaweed. You have the one for the sushi. That's not what I'm talking about. That is kind of gross plain because it has no taste. But you have the seasoned seaweed, okay, that they actually come seasoned already and they are delicious. And I mean, you don't even feel like you're just chewing nothing basically. And it's full of vitamins.
I mean, no calories plus vitamins and nutrients. Sounds like a good deal to me. And my last question that I want to focus on before I allow you guys to hold out is, I'm going to ask this question in two different ways, and you can answer it in whatever way resonates with you. What is it, as men, that you love about a healthy woman, number one? Or why do you think that it's important for women to focus on holistic wellness?
Well, I think it's like naturally you're attracted to things that you're attracted to. So like if I'm into health and wellness, then quite naturally I would want somebody that I can relate to that's into health and wellness. Not to mention all the benefits that come with it, shiny skin, healthy skin, things like that. The physical part, that's a little down the road. But just for the simple fact that I can relate to you, I can have a conversation with you. Because if I'm healthy and if I'm living a healthy, regenerative lifestyle, you're living a degenerative one, then a lot of times what happens is we'll clash in. I'm trying to have, I care about you.
I just gotta say real quick, he really just came to some of our lives right there. A regenerative versus a degenerative. Why we gotta be degenerative? Like, dang. Okay, I just have to pause right there.
I didn't mention no names. I didn't mention no names. I'm just saying. Right. I didn't mention no names. Certainly not none of you are here anyway. So the thing is that you want to make sure that you're on the same, you're on the same path, and that's the number one fundamental thing. Like I said again, if I'm concerned, I have a true love for you, then I'm going to want you. I want to see you healthy. So if I'm recommending certain things and you get offended because I'm saying, well, eat seaweed, or I want you to eat some seaweed, or try some seaweed, or eat this shake, and you don't like fruits and vegetables, then quite naturally that's going to cause a disturbance within the household. That's the first fundamental thing. Everything else is good.
Well, thank you.
Well, I'm actually from a small and growing community that is based over in Israel. And our entire way of life is just different. Most people don't drink water in the morning. That's all we drink in the morning. First thing we drink when we wake up is water. I've been to different countries and other areas, and you want coffee, you want a Coke, nah, I'll take water, and they look at me like, that's weird, that's wrong. Because people have been conditioned, even I, as a person, have been conditioned to accept my way of life, to accept the way that I was brought up, okay? And not to at all say that my way is better or anything like that. It's just we are conditioned. So like Tasha said, healthy food, 9 times out of 10 healthy food sounds excellent. I love to challenge those that think that healthy food sounds nasty, because when I introduce you to something healthy, after you taste it, they tell you, okay, that was just all vegan, but it's healthy. Right. You mean to tell me that was chicken? That was, that was all vegan? Seriously? Well, I could probably try this for a day or something. Okay, so understanding that your body is like a vehicle. Okay, I'll use a vehicle in a sense. Your body is like a vehicle, and we have 2 types of vehicles. We have the high class, we have the Jaguar, and we have the low class, where any old vehicle, let's say a old 99 Ford. Now, in your high class Jaguar, when you go to the fuel pump, which gas are you going to put in your high class? You're going to put the premium because you value your vehicle. Okay? Now, if you had that Ford again, you might slack and put, the unleashed. So, your body is like that high class vehicle. And if you don't take pride in your body, then you really subconsciously are not taking pride in anything. Okay? Every decision that you make is made from here. Thoughts become words, become things, become actions. So you have to eat, think, sleep, and breathe health, wealth, happiness, love. Because you could be a successful businessman, but if you aren't happy, if you're not loved, if you're not, if you're not connected spiritually, then you're off balance. So I'm kind of like steering away from her question, but I'm answering overall. Okay, if you really want to take pride in who you are, because it said men were made in the image of God, you have to treat this vehicle like God, what I think, God, anything, not knowing what's inside of it, not good. Or your baby, right? You have a baby, and now everybody wants to become a bit healthier and a bit wiser. Now that we have a baby, nah. What happened? What happened when you was 20 and just wilding out and drinking all that alcohol, right? So yeah, we have to treat our body, and as well the ones that we love, like you said, because you know that's the person that you will see yourself down for many years. You will want nothing to happen to the person that you love and give them.
So, wow. I feel a little convicted, honestly. I think one of the, I had the baby when it hit one of the things that he said, I think that really resonated with me is that if you don't value your own life, this is your life force. How could you actually value anything else, right? Does it even make sense that you would be able to value something else before you're able to value your very life force? And then the food that we eat, it gives us that energy. It propels our life. So for me, that was a really transformative statement. And thinking about myself, you know, let's say a Rolls Royce versus a Honda, that really changed the game. It really puts things in perspective. How do you, man, it makes me think that, you know, the things that we put into our body are a reflection of who we really believe that we are. Subconsciously, maybe. Maybe not on the conscious level, but on the subconscious level, maybe. I just want to suggest that and let that marinate. So I want to take questions. So I have to have some questions. I'm not moving forward until somebody asks something. So what are the questions? You have experts in front of you, not me. And I'm just gonna be the one to keep it real. So I want you to ask, what does the busy businesswoman need to know about health and wellness?
Okay, I'm sorry. What is a good, I guess, regimen, or how often should you work out? Should it be every day? For how long? Exactly, what's the best? I mean, I don't know. So as far as it goes, like, I don't know if it's different when you're just conditioning or you actually trying to lose weight, or what moments do you have?
Okay. It would all depend on the why. Like, okay, if somebody's training for, a squat race, and they're going to train differently. Somebody who want to, actually get in shape. So I'm going to take it as if you just want to stay healthy. 3 times a week is sufficient. But doing different things and different components those 3 times a week. Whereas Mondays might be cardio for you, Wednesdays might be a full body, plyometric exercises, jumping, things like that. And then Friday being a yoga day. Things like that. You just want to make sure, like I said, 3 times a week, you want to make sure that you have a balance of different things. You don't want to keep doing the same thing because our bodies adjust. So if I'm challenging myself in this area, and I continue to challenge myself in this area, and I'm not moving, to the side a little bit, what happens is nobody will use that, the benefits won't be as effective.
And for how long should you, as far as the
okay,
session?
as far as the session. I'm sorry. To get an effective, no less than 30 minutes,
Okay.
no more than 1 hour. A lot of studies show that after you exercise for over an hour, it actually comes, you're not really benefiting after that. Matter of fact, you can take it to the opposite.
Okay.
So no more than 1 hour.
Thank you.
What are some other healthy snacks that you can get from a regular grocery store?
That's a great question.
Healthy snacks.
I'll say I struggle with that. I walk around the grocery store all the time because I don't eat any processed food.
Because I mean, you could do the carrots, you could do the cucumbers, but I wanted to know if there's something, you know, that we're missing.
Meat substitutes. Well, we have different nuts. You know, we have trail mix. We have, even just the small fruits that they have already cut up in the grain section. And Whole Foods, you have countless snacks. I mean, you have different energy bars, of course. You know, it depends on what your taste buds are and what you're trying to actually accomplish. And like I said, you can prepare yours. I like prepared meals at home because I know exactly what's inside them. Okay, now I prepare all kinds of snacks. I'm not sure if you all familiar with rice cakes. That's what I was saying, right? We eat rice cakes. So we season rice cakes, slightly seasoned with olive oil, small different seasonings that you could actually make it sweet or savory if you like. That's a great snack. You have
any meat substitutes that you would recommend? Meat substitutes, you can still make things like a sandwich or certain types of food they already used to eating.
Well, side time is actually very popular right now. We make it from scratch, but you could also get it already pre-made. So, you know, side time is a great meat substitute that makes you feel like you're still getting that meat feeling, but it's actually a healthy substitute. That's S-E-I-T-A-N, right? S-E-I-T-A-N.
And then to go back to the snacks, normally I like dried avocados. Those are really good. I'll get the banana chips. Those are good. Kale chips. Other than that, I'll just get like, I just buy a bag of apples so that when I'm hungry, I don't have to, snack on unhealthy things. I'll just grab an apple like, whole fruit, things like that. And then sometimes I just do that. So for those in the meantime, in between time.
Right.
But definitely not. Okay, we're gonna go here and here. What do you think about avocados?
As a meat substitute, avocados is great, but as a meat substitute,
No.
it's not a meat substitute.
But it's kind of filling.
It's very filling.
Yeah.
Avocado is very filling, very healthy, but it's not a meat substitute. And guacamole rocks ground. That's what I think of. So that's it. If I can, I think that's a level above. So somebody who's used to eating like chicken and turkey and beans and things like that on a regular day basis, they need to kind of have that same feeling. So they actually make like vegan chicken and actually make it imitate the real deal. But going towards, the ultimate diet is to stay away from processed foods in the whole and to eat the whole food. A lot of people don't really understand the meaning behind whole food. A whole food means that an apple, what's the ingredients of an apple? An apple. That's what a whole food is. So that's the stuff.
Not apple flavor?
Right. Not apple flavor. It's an apple. Right. Exactly. So that is kind of like a step above. They actually have like imitation people. They feel like it. They feel like so first things like that. You buy the Coke.
I'm not a fan of, unless you cook for me. I'm not a fan of these substances. I'm more so, I would rather just go for the avocado or the sweet potato. I would eat avocado, like a little bit of ranch dressing. I just put salt, pepper, lemon. Okay. Yeah, I just agree. Okay.
my chicken, and
I mean, you said you don't really enjoy it. Okay. Well, once again, I'm not promoting that you go vegan. However, I am just trying to focus on the point of being conscious of what you're going to sacrifice. That's all. You know, I mean, I forget how many gallons they say it takes to cleanse meat, but watch an apple, you know, to peel some fruit, vegetables, and the meat substitute are mainly from wheat, are mainly from soy products and non-soy products. We have, like, we want to balance with all of these products. And then you want to try different. I like to go out and eat Ethiopian, Asian. I like to check them off. And you really want to check and see, because the Ethiopian might not be vegan, but the other one might have a little small thing, something that you might, you know, appeal to. So if you're not a big fan of vegan, because I have a person like that, and I just thought I said you could check these restaurants. They are not expensive. They're inexpensive. We have Soul Vegetarian, which gives you soul food, but vegetarian, which is like awesome. Everybody comes in there and be like, this macaroni, you know? Like, how do you all make it? You know, vegan cheese, and you can make vegan cheese with soy or non-soy. You know, it's not a problem. We have so many substitutes. The community that I come from is actually 40, going on 50 years for vegan products. You know, it's 50 years of non-meat, no dairy, consumption. I think that the opinions on soy is basically marketing opportunities. The soybean itself has at least 40 products that the soybean itself has. Products that evolve from the soybean. So too much of anything. I don't recommend too much sugar. I don't recommend too much salt. And the community where I come from, we have salt days. Days that we consume no salt. Because you want to be balanced. And a balance, if you're imbalanced, you're telling the no. Okay? And this also goes back to the body and the mind. Imbalance, then you're telling the no. You're making wrong decisions, bad decisions. However, you should be balanced. You should know your body and study your body. Know what you should eat, the supplements that you need, the fruits that you should eat, and why you should eat them. Most of the nutrients that we get from the meat, you can get from fruits and vegetables. No one knows this because no one knows. It's simple. See, what I do is I actually go and I cook for certain people, you know, in their home, teach them, educate them on the food. And you have different meals that you can make in 5 minutes, and you're not something but we're actually about to start cooking a session for those who want to transform and just know how to. Because you can go to a restaurant and you could pay a lot for vegan or vegetarian meal just for the word paper. Literally, it's like whole wheat, brown sugar. It actually takes less work to make the brown sugar than the process of white sugar. It's less, but because the value of the brown sugar has the nutrients inside the brown sugar, the white sugar is harmful, very harmful, and people don't know this. So they say we'll process all of this white sugar, bleaching, and everything. We will settle for less because that's what people want.
What was your original question? Cooking.
yeah.
That's what I wanted to touch on that. Because I know he wanted to give you some options for, things that you could do with that. But I want to challenge you because I know that sometimes if you have to think about what it is that you're trying to get out of life. And sometimes you just don't have to do certain things anyway. I'm not going to say there's not always anything easy way out. Sometimes the reality of the situation is that we're going to have to do some things that we don't want to do. And I think for most of us, cooking is one of those things that a lot of times we don't really want to do it. And so I wanted to give you, and I struggled with that. It was something that I struggled with, but it was important to me to get it under control because I believe that we live in a society that glorifies eating out. I believe that, part of the reason that so many of us don't want to cook is because we've been sold the story of convenience. But what is convenient for you is not necessarily always what is best for you. And sometimes I tell my clients, you can program your framework for convenience. The framework that you have for convenience now, it was given to you. It was programmed into you. So you could shift what you think is convenient. I used to think that ordering a pizza, going to get a pizza was convenient. And that would just be like, when I just was tired and I didn't feel like cooking, I would just go get a pizza. And most of the time I would have to go get in my car, wait in the line, have them, order it, wait on it. If I had to call and order it, I would have to wait 30 minutes to come, so I'm starving in that 30 minutes. When I thought about it, it really wasn't that convenient at all. Gas, time, hunger, all of that. But what I started doing was I started to just prepare my meals. I would pick a day, and I can't cook every day. I just don't want to do that. So I would cook big meals, and I would have a day where I would prepare my food. So maybe I would cut up my sweet potatoes and my regular potatoes and all that stuff because I don't like to chop it either. So then I bought something that would help me chop it so that wouldn't be an excuse for me that I don't feel like chopping the food because I just didn't want to do it. It just seemed so daunting and it took so long. But when I started to prep, oh my goodness, my framework for convenience completely changed. I couldn't imagine having to leave my house and go get food when I'm hungry. Why would I do that? Now, half the time I have leftovers from what I cooked 2 days ago. And it's delicious, and that is convenient. I just put a little oil in the pan, warm it up 5 minutes. I'm like, this is delicious, and I didn't even have to go anywhere. I didn't even have to spend any money. This is easy. I had to change my framework for what I thought was convenient. And the reason it was important for me to do that is because I want to know what's going into my body. Because honestly, I don't believe that anybody else is going to have my best interest at heart like I am. And sometimes it's okay to eat out, but it also gets expensive. And as a financial coach, I normally recommend that my clients don't eat out often. So I needed to model that too. So I just wanted to put the challenge out there that sometimes the things that's best for us, it's not necessarily going to be easy. And one of my mentors has this hashtag anyway movement, where even when you don't feel like it, just do it anyway. We don't have to operate from a place of convenience. You don't have to do that. We can choose. I was reading something about Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was saying that, he's reached so many goals in his life just by deciding that when he wanted to say no, he was going to say yes. So while everybody else's pathways were like, no, 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 his were like, yes, 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 yes. And then everybody was wondering, how did he get to be the top bodybuilder in the world for 6 years? Well, he said yes when other people were saying no. How did he get to be a governor? Who does that? But because he said yes when other people were saying no. So I just wanted to put that out there. Any other last questions?
I actually work from home right now, but I actually have a class where I come to because I'm talking.
Yeah, and you're about to do a cooking class.
Yeah, I'm about to do a cooking class. That'll be upcoming to check my Facebook page for that. The cooking class is requires bakeries and meals and general.
That is going to be fun. I definitely think that on the radar. So before we close, I want to leave with a personal testimony. So I grew up in a house where the only vegetables that we ate, they only came out of the can, and they were only corn or sweet peas. That's all. Corn or sweet peas out of the can. I did not know what a green bean looked like. I was like, oh, I'm not lying. I'm in college, like, oh, that's a green bean. I grew up in a, a poor community, underprivileged, and my mom supported herself with food stamps, and so we didn't, we weren't eating a whole lot of food. So we weren't eating much food. Occasionally some fruit. And so I grew up with this mentality, and it's so interesting how I owned that as my identity. I'm never apologetic about who I am, and I decided that not eating healthy was part of my identity. How crazy is that? I was just like, it was to the point where when I was in college, I would get so annoyed when people would come to a meeting and they would only have fruits and vegetables and things like that. I'm like, what about the regular people? Don't subject me to your health standards. I will have an attitude about it. That is how ingrained eating unhealthily was instilled in my mindset to the point where I owned it as my identity. How backwards is that? But but my mom did the same thing. She told me, we don't eat rabbit food. We eat meat. We don't do that. And so I was saying, look, guys, I don't eat rabbit food. Where is my pot roast? That is what I want. But then I quit my job in corporate America and I have more time to cook. And suddenly, all of a sudden, I have more time to cook, and I realized that I wanted to be mindful of what was going in my body. I didn't think that I wanted to eat healthy. That's not what I thought. I thought, I have more time to cook. Let me just do that. One day, I was in the grocery store, and the lady behind me looked at the conveyor belt, and she said, oh my goodness, you eat so healthy. And me, within the limitations of my thinking, I got immediately defensive. And I said, no, I don't. I do not eat healthy.
I'm not a rabbit food either.
And then I looked at the conveyor belt. It was all vegetables, fruit, and a little bit of meat. And I was like, how did this happen? When did I become this person? But when I quit my job, I changed my mindset. I changed my idea of who I was. And when I quit my job because I wanted to be greater. I didn't want to be a greater either. But I naturally changed the mindset of who I was. So what I began to eat changed. What I began to put in my body, it naturally changed. What did I tell you? If you focus on where you are and who you are, evolution is a natural product of that. I didn't try to eat healthy and say, oh, I need to eat healthy. Oh, I gotta be so much better. I just said, I want to be better. And all of a sudden, the lady let me know I was eating healthy. But when did I start eating healthy? And then, but still, I still eat a lot of meat, and I was still on to that. And I was like, look, I'm eating real food. Meat is a real food. And that's what it was. And then over time, the saying that you are the sum of the people you surround yourself with. If you want to change yourself, change your circle. So I started finding myself in circles with people who limited their meat consumption. Right? There's also, if you read the book, The Alchemist. You read the book, The Alchemist, they say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. All these teachers started coming like, you should eat less meat. You should do this. Now, I'm not impressionable. You can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. But it is undeniable that you are the sum of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. And then I started looking. I'm like, man, they look good. They're doing good. They seem healthy. They seem active. They are vibrant. They have energy. And then naturally, and then these two, being around them on a fairly regular basis, I was like, okay, how long am I going to deny that I should probably try to eat less? How long am I going to operate in that? And again, but it wasn't like I wanted to try real hard. It was just natural. I just found myself trying new vegetables, doing new things, and all of a sudden, this is what really changed it. Because like I said, I wasn't trying to not eat meat. But one day I was like, I didn't have any meat in the house. And it was on, I go grocery shopping on Sunday. It was like a Wednesday. And I don't like to shop on days that aren't my designated days. But normally, if I don't have meat in the house, all rules are out the window. I have to go get something to go with my meal. In my mind and in my house, you do not have a meal without meat. But all of a sudden I said, well, maybe I could have a meal. And it wasn't like this big grand thing. It was like, it was a layering of several things because number one, I didn't want to go shopping. And number two, I have been introduced to this idea that I didn't actually do. So I wanted to say that to you guys because I want you to know that I went from being the unhealthiest person who was proud of to now, being someone who's transforming in our space of health as well. So I want that for you guys as well. So we're going to be closing up the panel. So we have one last thing.
I just want to elaborate on what she was talking about to make it clear. It's not the meat, but in corporate America, and all of these large businesses, there are genetically modifying this thing, okay? And you have to be careful because, like we spoke about with the vehicle, you have a high-class vehicle, you put the premium gasoline in there in order to make it run right. But if you don't know that you are being injected with genetically modified meat and products and fruits and vegetables as well, because they're genetically modifying this whole world, then you become, without even knowing, your thoughts, your actions, your businesses would all just be genetically modified. You wouldn't even know how to stop it. So it's not the meat, it's not the meat at all. It's knowing what these businesses are doing just to gain a dollar. Okay? So you want to prepare your meat and know where they are prepared. You want to, even your fruits and vegetables, soybean, they are genetically modifying that as well. Okay, so soy, yes, that soybean I don't recommend to nobody. So you would want to pay an extra dollar to pay attention, first of all, to where you get your groceries or whatever it is that you put in your system. Check your water. Check your water. Sometimes I find this bottle of water and it seems like when I drink it, I'm more thirsty when I drink that bottle of water than when I drink some water. I wouldn't say alcohol over here, but I'll say that you don't drink water alcohol. But yes, you want to be aware and conscious. Like she said, preparedness meets opportunity. She wanted to be better. The universe gives her everything in a better sense. Health, wealth, happiness, you smile more, right? And that's what it is. I want to do the same thing. I wanted to be a businessman. I wanted to actually sit in front of people like this, and I see myself here. Okay, I used to sit and give classes to little students back at home, but now, I'm actually giving speeches to businessmen and women, around the world, and that's a great accomplishment. So, as a business plus, I want to just say, preparedness meets opportunity is what they call it. Okay? So be simple prepared for whatever it is that you want to do. Be healthy, get rich, whatever it is that you want to do. Be prepared, because when there's going to be a time where you actually call or how do you say, I want to, you're going to be challenged. And when you're challenged, you're up there stuttering like, oh, well, I don't know how. You can't do that. You have to be super prepared. So you just flow. She said something about the butterfly when it came in. You just want to be able to move like a butterfly. Grass, don't try to grow, it just grows. Okay?
Okay, I want to do, a lot of times we get caught up in the titles and names. So a lot of times if I'm saying I'm a vegan, then it can kind of offend you for not being vegan. So I want to say leave the titles alone. In the nutrition field and in the exercise field. Okay? So what do I mean? We're talking as far as nutrition, it is undeniable that a plant-based diet is more regenerative than a meat-based diet. And that's all it is. So now if you was 60-20, 60 or 40 plant-based, become 80-20. You know, just kind of going to the higher level to where you're 100% plant-based. Ain't that the same thing as saying I'm vegan? And if they don't come from a plant, I'm not eating. That's a vegan. But get away from the title and the exercise field. CrossFit, functional training, these things. These are the titles of vegan. Let's find the truth into what actually sustains our bodies the most, and to fix the dysfunction that we've accumulated through our lifestyle, and work towards that. Movement is medicine. So get rid of the title and find the truth. Pick the truth. And always rise in elevation in anything that you do.
Awesome. Well, I hope that was informative for you. It was actually transformational for me. I'm definitely going to be taking back some of those concepts and implementing them not only in terms of health, wellness, and fitness, but also in terms of my wealth. I want to use these concepts to figure out how what I'm putting into my body is going to help me be better in my business. So I hope that this will help you be better in your business. So if you have any other questions, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to go for 20 more minutes and then close out. I'm going to just close out with last words. But in the meantime, we're going to take like a 3 to 5 minute break, grab these guys. You can find them on Facebook. There's their information on the screen. Make sure that you connect with them. Tori has Saturday sessions that he hosts. And then King is also having his classes coming up. So I want to make sure that you guys are connected with them. So thank you so much for listening and for asking questions. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, go ahead.
You know, I just let it know. Facebook, where I don't want to come and break my car yesterday. So like my fit is like.
You know, I done took a million notes, and then my mind just be racing. Girl, all of this came from today. Well, some of it came from what they're saying. Other stuff is my stuff that I have to do. Yeah.
Yvonne, what kind of business do you have? Is it Yvonne with a Y? Or
Yvonne.
Yes. Oh, okay.
And you're
Yvonne.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a business right now, but that's why I was explaining to Mr. Kent that I'm trying to gather all my thoughts and my ideas just to be able to start processing and putting them on paper and then bringing them to action. So I have several. I have one which is a dating service. In fact, this is Christy, by the way.
Hi,
Christy. It's for married
couples.
business. Yeah. So scheduling, organizing, having babysitting services, just so that instead of them trying to figure out some time in the day to come together, eat dinner, whatever, we go and we plan and organize it for you. Maybe send you a quick little invitation, save the date. Here you go, have fun. Okay, but everything else is taken care of, and you don't even have to look at it. You don't even have to look at it. So that's one.
That's one, but it's like more than
right. Yeah. Another one, my ultimate goal is to open up a birthing center.
What?
A birthing center. So that's my ultimate. I've always wanted to do it, so I've never let go of it, and I'm going to accomplish it. Yeah. So, and then my not last goal, but another goal of mine is to have a dessert bar, kind of a bakery dessert bar. So I'm still working on that. But I'm which. After listening to them, I love sweets. I love dessert. So I always wanted to late night. Where can I go? I don't know. I get cravings. Where can I go get something sweet to eat and just indulge? Right. So that's another reason that I want to open that.
So you're trying to come up with product or service that kind of serves a need, or
right? Exactly.
What about you? What do you do? I create a rotating jewelry display. I used to go to a lot of vendor events and people are always selling jewelry, but they don't have a creative way of displaying the jewelry. Because usually, you know, as women, we have stuff in this bucket here, in this bowl here, in this drawer here. So I created a rotating jewelry display, and the people I've shown it to, they really love the product. So it's probably more executing.
Are you already off the ground with your business?
You know, right now I'm selling to family and friends, and I've been showing it, and I've been getting a lot of good feedback. But you know, when I go to work every day, by the time I come home, I can't even draw a stick man. My mind
All right,
is just
guys,
full.
let's bring it together. Let's bring it together.
Oh, so cute.
I love to see networking. What's your name? Ariel. Very nice to meet you. Thank you for coming over and smiling. All right. So, I want you guys to know that, okay, it was just weird turning around and looking at my phone. So, this event did not happen the way that I expected. I had an agenda, I promise. I had an agenda for how I wanted things to look, right? It was just really pretty. I laid it out. I had everything the way that I wanted it to be. But sometimes things just don't go according to plan. So when I opened up today, I was just like, what am I going to do? Because there were some things that I had anticipated happening that didn't necessarily fall into place the way that I wanted, that I expected them to fall into place. And so I was literally up here just thinking while I'm talking, what am I going to say right now? Do I get into the speech that I was going to give them later? Do I tell them something different? But always, as a business owner, especially if you're one that is speaking, but even if you're not, you always have to be able to flow. You always have to be able to adapt to your environment. And then you have to be willing to let things be as they are. Because as they are right now, they can't be another way until you work to change it. So I wanted to be transparent with you because now I'm like, okay, how much of what I was going to share now did I already share with them before? But, you know, for me, I think it's always about coming from a place of authenticity and making sure that I am giving you what you need. So far, how many of you have learned something today? Just let me know if, okay, good. I know I told you that I was going to make sure that you learned something. That's good. And who here hasn't gotten what they wanted to learn yet? Who here is still looking for something? I know you're.
I'm gonna be looking for
something that they wanted to get that they didn't necessarily get. I know you wanted to know something about finances, right? And the other thing I love is being part of a flexible community. So when I came in, there were people who said, do you need help with anything? Is there a way that I can serve you? And I love being a part of communities like that. Because the more that you serve, you open yourself up to get. And that's exactly why last night I was serving in someone else's business instead of working in my own. So after I served in their business, I came here, and when I showed up, there were people who were ready to help me. And so that's how life works. When you are in a position where you're willing to give, then you're finally in a position to get. When your hands like this, nothing is going to go out, but nothing is going to come in either. So to close today, I do have something that I want to share with you. What I really want to share with you today was about tapping into your potential and unleashing your power. I need a timekeeper. When we get to 55 on the hour, let me know. What time is it? Okay, I have 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And what I want to share with you, I want to be very clear about why I believe that as women, you have everything that you need to be who you are in your business and to grow your business, to be successful in your business. I don't want you to just be entrepreneurs. I want you to be businesswomen. Yesterday I was on a call. No lie. It is from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning. I was listening as I was working to this conference called Black Women Millionaires. And it was presented by Dr. Venus Opalworth. And I'm listening to some of the strategies that they were talking women entrepreneurs. And there are a couple that I want to share with you quickly, and then I want to share the reasons why I think that you are uniquely positioned to bring your business forth to greatness. There were two things that resonated with me about what is blocking women from operating from their place of abundance. The number one thing is not being able to ask for help. Not being able to ask for help. I might be the only one. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I feel like I would rather die. Now I'm just being a little bit dramatic. Not a lot dramatic, just a little. Sometimes I feel like I would rather walk over a bed of hot coal than to have to ask someone for help. Oh my goodness, even just thinking about it right now, I don't like it. I don't like it.
You want to say something?
Yeah.
The only thing they can do is tell you no.
That's true.
That's
but
it.
It's not about the other person. It's not about all the time. It's not about that other person. It's about what's on the inside of you. Nobody. For me, I think for every person it can be different. But for me, it was not necessarily pride, but a protective strength, which is not healthy. It's fear. So not necessarily pride, but fear that people are going to let you down. And that they're not going to be able to do it the way that you need it to be done. And that people aren't going to show up for you the way that you need them to show up. How many times have you needed people? I think, this is not true for everyone, but most women have this sense of nurturing that you want to give them. And so when they bring their problems to you, you naturally have something that you want to give them. But how many people feel like they give, but nobody is really in a position to give back the way that you do? And so what that can do is, when you need help, I have been conditioned to not ask. I conditioned myself to not ask. But if you are in a position for whatever reason, your reason could be different from mine. Maybe it is pride. Maybe it is fear of rejection for you. Whatever it is, what I want you to do is this. I'm not going to tell you what I want you to do because I need to do it myself first. So I can't tell you what I want you to do. But I am going to suggest to you. I want to suggest to you that it's time to figure it out. It's time to figure out how to ask for help. And as you're figuring out how to ask for help, you also have to know what it is that you need. You have to get clear about what it is that you need to dominate your space right now. See, some people would have said, what do you need to get to the next level? I want you to identify what do you need to do to dominate where you are right now. The second thing that she said was that if we want to experience a shift of dimension, have you ever experienced a dimension shift? Not everybody has. I've experienced several dimension shifts where I am different. I'm just different. The core is the same, but the dimension is just different. My friends look at me and they say, Tasha, how do you just change so gracefully? Like, you are so different from who you were 6 months ago. I used to say, I would never go natural. I would never cut off my hair. I would never eat healthy. I would always say, I would never. I said, I would never quit my job in corporate America. 3 months later, I was gone. And it was because of the dimension shift. You don't go from saying I would never leave my comfortable job at a Fortune 50 company to saying I'm gone without a dimension shift. Things gotta change for that to happen. And if you want to experience, and for me, I don't know where you are, I'm just telling you where I am, and hoping that maybe you can relate. If you want to go to the next dimension, you are going to have to learn how to ask for help and to allow people to support you. when you're doing something, allow people to support you. And I'm working on this. So Diana is here today because I said, Diana, I don't know how many people are going to show up today, but I have to make sure that I'm in a place to serve. I can't be signing people in. That just can't be. And I said, I need some support. Can somebody help me? And even then, I just asked generally, right? Because if you ask generally, then, you know, it's a little easier. Because then people can opt in. They can opt in to helping you. And when people opt in, it's a different spirit. They chose that. So I'm working on it. So I just put it out into the atmosphere. And then Diana she said, I will help you. And I was like, okay, what can I do for you? What can you do? What do you need? Always, you know, my thought is that no one's gonna just want to help you. They're gonna want something, right? They're gonna need something in return. She was like, you know, I've been there. I'm just willing to help. So thank you for your help today. I appreciate your presence. Your presence is allowing me to do that for you. Because if I want to experience a dimension shift, I have to allow people to support me. Right? Even the panelists, they support me in a lot of ways. Tori and King, they support me in a lot of ways. I don't even know them very well. And they don't know, but it kills me sometimes. Like, oh my God. Right? But it's a conditioning, because a lot of times in our community, we're taught, give. I see my mom do it. My mom is just give. She doesn't ever think about who's giving to her, right? So as I'm operating as a woman, I often think, well, I just need to give. So my only fail-safe, I do have a fail-safe, because I know this about myself. So I surround myself with givers. If I surround myself with people who are going to take, I'm in trouble. I'm in big trouble. Because I would probably allow them to. I would probably allow them to take, because I want to give. But instead, I know myself, so I haven't fixed the issue, but I can create a fail-safe. I can at least surround myself with people who are willing to give. So what I want you guys to know, as you think about how do you tap into your identity to believe that you can take your business to where it needs to be, not to where it needs to go, to where it needs to be. I want you to remember that you own the power of creation. You own it. You don't have it, you own it. It is yours. It is yours. I want you to believe that when you walk into certain settings, you bring a spirit with you that is irresistible. That is irresistible and powerfully persuasive. I need you to believe that. Because what's in your mind is what manifests. So when I walk into the room, I believe, when I walk in here, I believe I'm powerfully persuasive. Everywhere I go, I believe that I'm powerfully persuasive. The other thing that I want you to know is that your ability, your unique ability to empathize with other people is an asset in any business. What is business if not serving others? And your ability to empathize with people is going to allow you to tap into profitable leads and marketplaces. If you can just own it. A lot of empathy often can make the people around us feel vulnerable because you're in your emotions. Like, it's a place of emotion. And a lot of times in business settings, we don't want to go there. But I want to give you permission to go there. You have permission to go there. Sometimes I'm talking to people, and as I'm talking, they're saying one thing, but I feel something different. And so then I'll just say, so tell me about this. And then they're like, I really wanted to talk about that, but I didn't know if this was the space to do it. I'm talking to people about their finances, and I'm like, okay, well, tell me about your parents. And they're like, I blame them, but I didn't want to say it. Own your place of empathy. Allow it to be. Everybody doesn't have that unique power. Everybody isn't going to have that gift. If you can empathize with other people, own it. So I want you to know that your power as a woman is infinite. It is infinite. And a lot of times we think that we have to operate from a place of masculine energy in order to be successful in our business. But that's not the case. That's not the case. Actually, it should be the other way around. It should be the other way around. What allows you to be successful in your business? Creation and understanding your clients. That's what allows you to be successful. So I want you to ask yourself, what is blocking success with where you are now? Identify that. And once you identify it, I want you to tap into the power that you have and let it go. Unleash that power, because we live in a world that needs what we have. We need more compassion in our world. We need women entrepreneurs who are going to rise up and invest their wealth for the good of the community, not just for selfish ambition and gain. But we need somebody who's going to be willing to think about their fellow man. Now, I'm not saying that men don't, but I would put money on it that they won't the way that you do. And I'm not telling you what I think, I'm telling you what I know. Because I've operated in those spaces where they say, well, I don't care if they didn't learn anything, I gave it to them. I would never say that. I would never think that. If I have a client and they don't get what I give, then I'm like, okay, we got to go at it again. We got to do it again. They're like, look, I gave it to you. I don't know what to tell you. Or I'm like, okay, well, how are we giving back? And they're like, look, you work for yours, I work for mine, they need to work for theirs. I'm not telling you what I think, I'm telling you what I know. This is not indicative of everyone. You know, a generalization is a generalization. It's not specific to every person. But I'm telling you that this is what I see, and this is why I believe that our world is. But I have to close it because I have somewhere else. I have to go be in a support role at an event. I wish I didn't have to leave you guys, but I do. But I hope that you got something out of this today. I hope that you take something home. I hope that you go and follow me. I created this page. I created it just for you guys on Facebook. It's called Queen Unleashed. There's nobody in it yet. I created it last night. It was one of the many things on my to-do list that I need to get done. But I want to start having conference calls, just like I have my midnight conference calls every day. I want to have regular conference calls because what I can't pour out is my emotions. I'm highly invested in your ability to bring forth your vision. I'm highly invested in it because I believe that it could change the world. I believe that it could. I'm not like standing up here like, oh, you can change the world. I'm not selling you a dream. I'm not selling you anything. I'm telling you. I'm not selling you. I'm telling you that I actually believe. Now, I know that I'm going to change the world. I know this. This is just matter and fact. That's just what's going to happen. And I believe that you can too. Because I believe we were all put here for that. And I'm going to stop talking because I would just keep talking. So thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. Please come to our meetup at the end of the month, March 28th. Diana, can you just tell us a little bit about your business before we come down?
Hi. Hello. I'm here more of a support role. I also own several businesses. I own an insurance agency on the Fifth Avenue, and I also run an empowerment workshop for women as well. This is the Balance in Atlanta. And so one of my biggest components and one of my pushes is to do exactly what Latasha is doing, is to be a push for success. So I have some business cards here. I'm going to talk forever. We have a great group that has numerous workshops, numerous girls' night outs. And we want to be that pusher for success for women as well. We also have men's events in the summer that are coming up planned. And I have some business cards, so if you're interested in that, learning how you can get you well into six figures as I am, and grow your business to where it is. Give me a call. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being here.
All right, guys, have a wonderful day, and I will see you hopefully at the end of March. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let me go talk.
Is that the restroom back there?
Yes, I think that's men.
All right, we're gonna look up your information, huh?
I guess it's a women's men. Right
Yeah, it
there.
looks like Western.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I think everybody does. Everybody's had some good coffee there.
I know.
I did have water first, though. I was good. I filled some water.
So I did okay.
Water.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, I'll see you guys in March. I'm going to speak for you in March here at the end of March. You're welcome. See you then.
Hi, how are you?
Good, you are?
Christy.
Nice to meet you,
Nice
Christy.
to meet you. What's your name?
I'm Kent Buckner.
Kent Butner, and what do you do?
Yes, I'm a speaker. I'll be your speaker.
Oh, you will.
Yes, I will.
Wonderful. What kind of business do you have? I love it. I'm ready. You said Kent
K-E-N-T.
Butner and not Butner.
Buckner.
I'm just a Butler.
Really?
Yeah, so we're close.
Yeah, so
we're
you
close.
better. Do you have your card with you?
I don't have my card.
Then
I
you've
just
never
I
been
will
there.
be here and I'll have my card.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Yes.
So here's the jewelry holder that I made. It's rotating jewelry holder with 4 sides. It comes with 60 black necklaces. So one side long to go up. Up to the medium size area. You can put your rings, you can put your watches on here. You can put your watches on here. You can put your rings on here. You know, stud earrings, earrings. So the one stop, it's kind of like you're shopping every day.
Yeah, but it's at your house. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you have a card?
I don't like that. I think it's friends and family. So
I'm just like her. Well,
it's 125 with 60 black tags, 2 ring holders, and a lapel pin holder. We have a accessory piece with it.
I love it. So are you going to be here?
I definitely will.
So I wanted to talk to you about it because I know my daughter would love it. She would really love it. I would love it too. So we're going to get one maybe.
I'll have to bring it back to you.
Yeah, do that. That'll be great. And your name is Yvonne. Okay, great. Okay.
You didn't even have to do anything. You called her over. All you gotta do is just and I don't do that so much. It's just like with your mom, you're gonna want to engage. Yeah. I like it. Yeah. And I've been, and I know yeah. And I know. And then
It's a wonderful
That's gonna be your next.